Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean Keenan, and today we are going to go through my favorite images of 2023, inspired by the great Simon Booth. Thank you, sir. I've not done this before. It's my second year on YouTube. My first year I should have done a wrap-up, but I didn't even think of it. So I've got myself a cup of coffee and 10 images, actually 11 images, a couple of printouts, and some of my favorite photography of 2023. So let's start with the most recent image that I took, or series of images that I took. There's two that, I really couldn't decide which one I liked more. So I just decided to include them both. Now, these are images that I took on my final episode of 2023. So with this image here, this mound in the middle was the main subject of the image, but I'm using the reed grass as a way to draw the eye further deeper into the image. The mounds are soft, subtle, and flowing kind of from left to right. And if you go up into the right third, you're going to come back down again, this gentle slope. This second image here, this one is a little bit more subtle, but I think I like this one just a little bit more. If I can move it in a little bit closer. I love these little dimples interspersed throughout the image. Sometimes when I'm zooming in on images, I see other small little images, little vignettes that I could have photographed as well. Maybe I should have just stuck with this one. I don't know. You tell me, which one do you like more? The first one or this one? So the next image that I'd like to show you is an astro shot that I took maybe, I want to say October-ish. I had gone to Lake Shikotsu and I was going to shoot these rock islands that are just a little bit off into the water. Well, I woke up maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I looked above, and wow, I've never seen so many stars in my life. Now, I've never really done astrophotography before, but I had to set up and take a shot. I love this location, and it's one of my favorite locations. I've shot here many times. One of my most popular episodes, a minimalistic episode that I shot, was in this location. Now, what I love about this image is that this is not the moon, this is Venus. And look at that reflection that it's casting on the water. This is, I think, a 28 or 29 second exposure. There's problems with it, and I think that some people might disqualify it because of these problems. But I do believe that imperfections in your images don't disqualify them. Imperfections make it more real. If you can move somebody with your image, if you have a connection to your image, for me, I think that's enough. And, we can debate the merits of that, but that's just how I feel. Now, if you look at this image here, I used a little bit of the beach and the fence here, just gently curving around to the reflection. I love the fact that there are rocks right here at the very base of that reflection, and draws your eye straight up to Venus. Now, what is disqualifying this image? Well, let's look here. We have a blur in the tree here. Because this is a 29 second exposure, 28 second exposure, we have some blur in the trees. Another one is the fact that there are star trails. My exposure was slightly off. Since then, I've gotten an app called Photo Pills. Thank you, Valerie Misa, another photographer that I follow and have correspondence with. She recommended this photo app called Photo Pills. It's fantastic. Please check it out. Not sponsored yet, but you should check it out. That's going to be a good one. This shot here, Shoshanbetsu, was another one of my bucket list shots. I've been wanting to get here for years now. I had the opportunity visiting a friend in the area, and I'm so glad that I did. It was a rainy day, and there are lots of tourists on the beach. Despite it being in quite a remote place, there were so many people there. But in the end, I did get this shot here. This is another long exposure. I think this one is probably about 20 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. What I really like about this image is that the background is completely enshrouded in mist and fog. Some of these rocks here, because of the long exposure, are really softened and muted. I love the symmetry of it. Maybe a flaw of the image is the base is still visible, but I don't think that takes away too much from my love of this image. I love how much it stands out from the background. It's just this beautiful stark torii gate in the ocean. You still with me? Yeah, you must have something to drink while you're at the editing table. All of my episodes that these were taken in, I'm going to link in the description below, so please go and check them out if you're interested. Right, so this next image here, this is a personal favorite, and I don't think that this image is for everyone. There is a tiny little bird. I have no idea what kind it is, and if you are very good with birds and you know what kind of bird this is from the silhouette, I would be massively appreciative and very impressed if you can tell just from the silhouette. This kind of image should not be printed small. This kind of image needs to be printed large. That's one of the reasons why I purchased a Canon R5, is because I really do want to print my images larger. All right, let's jump to the next image here. So this image here is a reflection of a tree that has fallen down into the water just off of a landslide, actually. I went to have some revenge photography in this place called Hokkaido. It was a little bit challenging to really separate it because there was a lot of other distractions to the right and to the left of the image. So I really had to make sure that I got the exact right camera angles to get this shot. As if I went a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, there was a lot more distraction there. I think this kind of image where you really have to think about what are you looking at. I think I really like this kind of image. You have to study it. I think it's complicated. There's all of these little branches that are popping up, and they're reflecting as well. I would love to have had just this bit here and maybe this out here as a secondary focus point. Maybe if that was gone as well, that would be great. But you know what? I think all of these elements add up together for a wonderful image. So the next image is one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken. I took this image in Lake Toya. On this particular spring morning, I was shooting with my brand new Canon R5. It was rainy, it was misty. I had slept in my car. There's two images from this trip that I'd like to show you, and this is the last image of the day. Now this episode I think is one of my favorite episodes that I've shot, and it barely has any views, so maybe I need to work on that thumbnail a little bit. But man, two images from this trip I think are spectacular. This image here, I actually printed it out. This is a beautiful, soft, cottony kind of paper. There we go. This little temple here, this little shrine out on a peninsula in the lake on a misty spring morning. It doesn't get better than this for me. So I got really sharp, nice focus on the shrine here. If you are able to look even closer, you'll see that there are ume blossoms or plum blossoms on the tree here. This was spring. There's some flowering trees over here. I'm not sure, this might be magnolia. I'm not quite sure. And really nice soft green on the trees over here. I was probably, I don't know, 500 meters away, and I was completely zoomed in. I have a 70 to 200 millimeter lens on the R5, and I was able to punch in enough to really get this image and still have a high resolution image. I was just totally impressed with this shot. So another image from this same trip. There we go. Another black and white. Well, I just realized that a lot of my images, my favorite images from this year are black and whites or very muted colors. It's not a lot of really standout colors. This was shortly after I woke up in the morning. Everything was covered with mist. It was raining. It was a beautiful morning, really. I never before enjoyed walking in the rain so much because it was just spectacular. It was beautiful. I love this image because of this ume tree here really standing out from the background with the mountains. This is Lake Toya again, so there are islands in the middle of this volcanic lake. That's what you see here, and the lake itself is covered with mist all the way around, which really helps separate it as well. I love that this pokes up just a little bit over into the mountain here. You can see the mist around here, which also helps separate the trees along the line here. I think for me, the bird flying through here is what really makes this image come to life. I love the composition anyway without the bird, but with the bird there's just that connection to the life in this area. I realized that I've been going through basically from backwards throughout the year, but I realized I missed an image, so let me add that to the list. This next image is my first time using intentional camera movement, and I'm really happy with the results. This was an early morning, misty mountain riverside shot. It was just a very simple experiment of moving my camera vertically while pressing the shutter. I had a series of 3 or 4 images that I had to choose which one I liked the best, and each one of those images was slightly more abstract. I like this one more because it's suggestive, and those birch trees in the middle, these bold vertical white lines, everything is suggestive of this moody morning, misty autumn look. I'm going to get to my last 3 images, and I think I'm now up to 12 images because I forgot one. 2 images were I couldn't choose which one I liked the most, and now these last 3 images here I'm the most proud of all my photography of 2023, and probably one particular image is the image that I pinch myself still. I can't believe that I actually took that photo. This is one of the 3 that I've printed out, mounted myself on a piece of foam board, and I have this hanging in my, it's called a washitsu, my Japanese style tatami floor in my house. One of my favorite images of the year, the pattern, the series of 3 elements in your photography sometimes come out to wonderful effect. It was really dumping down heavily with snow, so I think that adds another softening effect to this image. It printed out, it looks like it could be a painting. It doesn't necessarily look like a photograph. It's very painterly, and that's something that I love about it. Now there's another image here. Let me put that down. This one here. This one, it looks like a photograph. The other 2 images, the one I just showed you and the one I'm going to show you last, they look like paintings, and especially printed on this soft kind of cottony fine art paper. My best shot of 2023, I think, here we go. This is my pièce de résistance, and that's what I've titled this image. These 2 birds broke off from the group. They started mating. I caught a series of images of them. After they mated, they did this fantastic pose, and I had just laid on the ground trying to get a different angle. Most of the people had left at that point, and in this location you're not able to lay down when there's a throng of other photographers there, but most of them had gone at that point. So I had laid down as close to the snowpack as I could. And just then these two birds had gone across my lens, and I was like, oh, where are they going? Okay, they're just walking at the moment. Maybe something's gonna, and then boom, I just threw up my camera and just started firing away. I printed this out again in my Japanese room. It's called a washitsu. In my washitsu, my tatami room in my house, I have this hanging there. Yeah, I pinch myself that I've taken this image. #1 photo for me of 2023. So these images, I entered into the Tokyo International Photo Awards competition, and I received honorable mention for a series of photographs that I took in Tsuruimura. These crane images are the highlight of my year 2023. So what does that mean? Like it's like, I guess in getting an honorable mention for a photography competition, maybe it's like being nominated for an Oscar or a Golden Globe or a BAFTA and not winning. So I'm thrilled to receive an honorable mention from this photo competition, and I feel that it sets goals for next year, and I think that's what this is really good for. It's reflecting on your photography and setting goals for the next year. There we have it, guys. Here's my Tokyo International Film Awards honorable mention badge. Quite proud of that. Thanks for watching, guys. 2023 is in the bag, and 2024, here we go. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss future episodes, and I'll see you next time. '23, my best year of photography ever. Until next year.